Hello, everyone. Welcome to Crossroads. I am your host, LeRon Dawkins, and tonight, if you look around, we have a full crew. I feel like we should celebrate something, right?
It's like being home. It's nice with family. Somebody put the tea on.
We should. I should grab a beer.
I have my Huckleberry seltzer water.
Seltzer water. All right.
It's the only, I think it's seltzer water. I don't know what it is, but it's Huckleberry flavored and it's delicious. It's the only one I'll drink. The other ones taste disgusting.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, kicking things off for me tonight, as always, is the resident PlayStation doctor. And you know that guy. His name is Austin Campbell. What's up, man?
Just regular water for me, guys. Just regular water for me. Plain Jane today.
Same, exactly. Today. Why? Just stay hydrated, yo.
Although I don't even know what a huckleberry tastes like.
I don't either. And I thought huckleberry was basically like some fictional shit.
No, I did too. I honestly did too. And then I was in Montana for 3 months, and huckleberry jellies changed my life. And
okay, so what color is this berry?
Like blue.
So
dark blue.
Fun fact. It actually looks like a blueberry, and I know what it looks like because I had to do research. One of my all-time favorite movies is Tombstone, and Doc Holliday says, "I'm your huckleberry," which in history, for those of you who don't know, what he actually said is, "I'm your hucklebearer." A huckle is it's on a casket, so he was telling them he was going to take them to their grave, essentially, because Doc Holliday is a fucking G. So on my leg, I have a tattoo of a huckleberry that is Doc Holliday.
Sick.
So,
yep.
That's a really cool story.
Yeah.
So that's
you guys
that's
asked
why
what a huckleberry was. It looks like a blueberry.
That's why you had to do. You said you had to do research, though. That sounded like you had to do like an extensive scientific paper, and all it was.
No,
was
I did. I usually
do.
No. You don't understand. Why do you think I know? He said hucklebearer. There was a paper.
This man went deep.
Okay.
Well,
deep.
our wayward huckleberry.
That was his master's dissertation. Y'all don't even know.
It actually was.
I only knew the Huckleberry Hound, to be quite honest.
All right, everybody, say hello to our wayward huckleberry, Chris True.
Hi. Good evening. I have tails.
All right, and tonight we welcome back to the show a man who basically is a brother from another mother, to me at least. He's the first person who will tell you this is the best place on the Citadel, and the last person to exit the burning Normandy.
Got to save Joker, man.
Your boy, MC Stoyboy, that man, Stojan Jovic, is back in the Crossroads house. What's good, man?
Yeah, seeing as how there's no Arsenal X anymore, I was orphaned for a while. Corey kicked me to the curb and said, "Get out of my house," and I was left homeless until LeRon and Chris and Austin, you guys took me in.
You can live on our couch, man.
I really appreciate it.
It's okay.
Yeah, man.
Want you to know I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm gonna need you guys to get rid of all the milk in your house.
We only got all the milk in my house. Either. It's good.
Wait. Are you one of those? Are you one of those lactose intolerant people that you're like just fuck it anyway?
No. I'm just kidding. I'm not lactose intolerant. However, I don't have a gallbladder, so lactose goes right through me.
Oh
damn.
That's like most things with me.
Yeah.
Actually, I shouldn't say that. I do have a gallbladder. Look, he's got little stones. Scary. It's kind of cute.
I was gonna say, are you gonna pull out a jar with your gallbladder in it? I thought that's what we were about to see.
No. That's way over there, and I don't feel like walking up to go get it. So,
yeah. My wife came home and shook a jar in front of me and said, "Hey, you want to see a cat fetus?" And I was like,
"What?"
I guess. Yeah.
I want to know more about this story, but I don't think I want to.
Yeah.
How does that come up in conversation? Apparently,
well, she works at an animal hospital, and they all took home cat fetuses, and she's like, "Isn't that cool?" I was like, "I guess." I mean, that's
just handed them out.
I'm like, I mean,
what'd you get for your bonus?
I mean,
I like money for my bonus, but I
I'd
guess
much
a cat
prefer
fetus
money.
is
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. What am I supposed to do with this? Eat it? I don't know. Maybe I will. It might be good. It might be worth something.
Don't do it.
Might be.
Don't do it.
I
So
will
guys,
say
check.
though.
So guys, check this shit out.
Mhm.
Check this shit out. I got a Neo Geo Pocket in my hand.
Ooh.
So I've rarely ever heard about this thing. And some guy at work comes up to me last week and he's like, "Hey, what have you heard about this like a handheld Neo Geo?" And I was like, "The Neo Geo Pocket." He's like, "Yeah. What do you think of it?" And I was like, "Oh, it sounds pretty cool. I don't think it came out really that long ago. It came out in, 99 or whatever. How much is it worth?" He tells me. And I'm like, "Yeah, I looked it up. I was like, it goes for about like 120, 150 online." He's like, well, you want to buy it from me? So he tells me the story how he came up to it. When I was in middle school, this guy owed me money. And I grabbed him by the collar and I was like, "You owe me money. What do you got?" And he pulls into his pocket, hands me this Neo Geo Pocket. He says, "Will this cover it?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. Now get out of here. Don't bother me again."
What year in 1920 were you in?
This was a long time ago that this system came out. So, 1920s, I guess. I don't know. That's how they talked back then. I don't know.
They still do sometimes, but only when they're being ironic.
Yeah.
So this guy,
yeah, but he's like a nurse anesthetist, so he was like, telling me, he's like, "Yeah, this kid owed me money in middle school, so he paid me with this, and it's been sitting in his basement for years, so he was doing some cleaning, and yeah, so I picked it off of him, and
so wait, so he's had that thing since 1998, basically.
I think this came out in like 1999, and I think it only had a really like a 3 or 4 year life cycle.
It actually says a 1-year lifespan here on Wikipedia.
Yeah, it didn't really last because SNK went bankrupt in like 2000, 2001, I think.
Oh yeah, that was a big deal too.
Yeah, so I think this was SNK's last hurrah. But
it was their last hurrah before like Capcom loaned them a hand.
Yeah, and they picked up a lot of their stuff. But this thing has 2 batteries, and it was the first handheld with. It kind of had like an analog stick. I don't know if you can hear the clicking.
Yeah, I hear it
On the microphone, but it's so satisfying, man. Just if Chris could just stop coughing for a second and just listen to the clicking.
I muted. I'm sorry.
I know, man, dude. Go get yourself a hot toddy. Damn.
What is a?
But
hot
anyway,
toddy?
yeah.
Why did you bring me
The only game I have for it right now, it's like this baseball game. But yeah, I think I'm going to go down the route of trying to collect some games, and I'm afraid of what I'm going to find. I'm afraid that it's going to be very expensive.
It probably will be.
As a lot of retro things are becoming these days. I think we've talked about this many times already.
That's why I invested in all those Soldier Boy handhelds. One day they're going to be worth something. Just you wait.
No, you didn't do that, did you?
No.
Did you do that?
Well, not the first versions. I did the second versions, but that's
okay. You waited.
Yeah,
Smart.
I waited.
Smart.
I'm sorry. The what?
Soldier Boy had his own game console. You didn't know this?
No.
Twice. He had it twice.
2 versions. 2 versions. Because Soldier Boy's a big gamer.
Big gamer.
And they were basically hawking emulated shit.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what got him in trouble the first time.
And he didn't listen, I guess.
What were the names of those systems? By
the way, real quick, shout out to there's a game bundle for Ukraine on itch.io. It's a $6,500 worth of works. A minimum $10 donation all goes to Ukraine. There's games like Skatebird on there, Backbone, Crosscode, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, Wander Song. So if any of those things, and plenty of more, there's a ton of games on this list.
You know what? Like I jumped on the itch.io. I've done them twice at least. I did one for the Black Lives Matter stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember the other one I did, but shit.
It's
they've almost got. They're almost at $2 million raised.
That's awesome. Leonardo DiCaprio is apparently the biggest donor to Ukraine thus far, which is awesome. And also
What's-
weirdly surprising.
He's
the name of the bundle?
he's very much a philanthropist, actually.
I know he is, but it's a lot of stuff for the environment, and
Yeah.
that seems like super anterior. I guess the alternative is nuclear war, and that really fucks up his environment. So it makes sense.
What's the name of the bundle again?
I'm gonna put the link in the Twitch chat, and
All right, cool.
I'll put it in our chat as well, in case it goes missing for whatever reason. Gotta move.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, there it goes. Yeah, Dan put that in our Discord, so I wanted to give it a shout out. That's pretty cool.
Damn, crosscode.
Acid Death Fantasy, which sounds like all I need to know. Dumpy and Bumpy.
Oh, Celeste is in here. Jotun Valhalla edition's in here. What?
Is there
Shanghai,
actual
2064?
Are you just like picking the random ones that nobody's ever heard of before?
No,
Wait,
these are
no,
all
not
cool
you,
games.
those. Oh,
No, these are all cool games that I'm mentioning. I played these. Minute in here. Minute's a great game. So definitely check it out. I have not played Thirsty Sword Lesbians, but I could not say that name when I saw it.
all right. So Chris is like dying from allergies. Like you guys sturdy? Like nothing going on, you guys?
I'm good. I still have like a cough, but I think it's because it keeps getting to like, oh, it's gonna be 80 degrees, and now it's 30 degrees again. And it just keeps going back and forth at this point.
That's where I'm at. It happens to me every time, and we live in Virginia, and we go through all 4 seasons, and like we can do it in a day sometimes. Yeah, it's weird.
I feel like all the Midwest and like the middle of America plus the East Middle is all just a conglomerate of weather at any time.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah.
I took allergy medicine too, and then we talked about Daredevil for 15 minutes.
All right. Well, you know what, guys? Let's go ahead and get started. But first, we have housekeeping to get through, right? And real soon, I think I'm going to phase out housekeeping. Probably record like a pre-show thing, eventually.
Yeah.
But
should get Jacob to do it. Get Jacob to do it. Just put it in there.
Yeah, I know. He put together a nice one for Pal Block. He put together a nice one for Pal Block. Also, I plan on doing like an actual like ad for the show. Yeah. So
remember, you're supposed to do an ad for my shows.
Was that?
Remember, you were supposed to do an ad for my EXP Cast podcast. Remember that?
You never got me a script.
You were supposed to make up your own. I told you.
I was.
Yes.
You were supposed to do all of the work.
I emailed you. Yeah, I emailed you.
You did not email me. Hold on. If I pull up my email.
Okay. Anyway, go on with the show. Don't matter. Don't matter.
This is Crossroads, the PlayStation podcast of Boss Rush Games. Every week we come together, bring you the latest news, rumors, games, and discussion in the world of PlayStation. Crossroads airs live on twitch.tv/Exodus803, Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't check out the show, head over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other podcast locations to get the show. The recap of this show airs every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube, on youtube.com/Exodus803, as well as early mornings Thursday at youtube.com/BossRushGames. If you want to see previous episodes of our show, all episodes of Crossroads can be found on our parent website, which is bossrush.net. If you like the show, please consider subscribing to the podcast and giving us a follow on Twitch. And remember to share, rate, and review us wherever you check out the show. Okay, fellas. It's that special time where we can talk about the games we played for the past week. So, guys, what have you been playing? And you know what? I'm going to start with Stoy because it's his first night as an official member.
Oh boy! All I've been playing is Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah.
Like all the last like 3 days, basically just been jamming on that. I don't know if you guys know about Gran Turismo, the series at all, but they
Is that the game with
I
the trucks?
yes, big trucks.
Yeah, gotcha.
They you cannot lie about those trucks because those other brothers can deny when a truck walks in with an itty bitty waist. Anyway, they have these licenses that you have to go through, and in order to compete in like higher competitions, so that every time I jump into a Gran Turismo game, that's the first thing I do. I get into maybe a couple races, get my bearings of the game, whatever, because the game kind of holds your hand, like, hey, do this, do that, whatever. Okay, now you can apply for licenses, and it's like, CBA, national B, national, international A, or super league, super license, whatever. So, they're teaching you road skills, they're teaching you cornering, they're, kind of giving you pointers on how to race. So it's pretty cool, especially if you need a refresher on like playing simulation racing games and like, take this turn or take this series of turns and then finish it at this amount of time. And then you can elect to get trophies for how fast you go, and then obviously the licenses at the end. So I spent a significant amount of time over the weekend trying to get literally all of them so that I could just focus on racing.
How many licenses are in this game now? Because when I checked out GT4, there was 5 licenses.
I think there's about like 5 or 6. Yeah, I think it's still 5. It's like B, A, and then international, B and A, and then super license.
Okay.
Yeah, the super license is obviously for the supercars and stuff like that. There's, there as you progress into the game, there's like certain classes that you have to race in, and you have to have a particular license in order to race them. Not only that, but you obviously need the particular car for that.
Now, how steep is the level of difficulty per license?
It gets pretty steep. It kind of comes down to timing. Like time trials, so to speak. So you'll have a significant section of track that you'll have to complete a certain amount of time. And you can just restart and just keep going and going and going. And there's even a demonstration video to watch, which is nice, so that you can actually see someone perform it to the best ability possible. So then it's like, okay, all right. So he kind of like hits the brakes, like, for like a half a second, and then, turns early. So then, you can kind of study that way and then try it on your own. Obviously, the further you get into the licenses, the harder they get, especially when you do have to do a full lap. Let me tell you, the Ford GT, the old one from the 60s,
yes.
that thing is
the speed racer car.
Yeah, that thing is a fucking monster to control.
Yeah.
And that's the final exam, like the final exam. They make you drive that car on Spa, the course in Belgium, which is probably one of my favorite tracks, but definitely very technical. And there's a level of detail in this game where the track is wet, but only certain parts of the track are wet. So it's like literally after a rainstorm, the edges of the track are wet, but like there's certain driving lines that are dry. So you're fighting the entire time to keep this car on the dry spots, because if all of a sudden you go on the wet spots,
you spin the fuck out.
You spin the fuck out. Like you touch it, you touch a wet spot,
it, and
then all of a sudden, you go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever, guys, does that ever happen to you? Does this ever happen to you? You ever touch a wet spot with just like one little poke, and then all of a sudden you just end up going like you start spinning around in circles? Does this ever happen to you?
It does not take long either.
No, it sure doesn't. Well, because once you hit it, once you kind of tap it a little bit,
it's out.
It doesn't take much pressure. It doesn't take much pressure.
Man, I almost want to witness this. I like gameplay, not not in real life.
I was gonna say you don't really want to.
Ron, who are you?
I drive an SUV. I can't afford to spin out.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so simulation racing games are kind of my thing. Like it's boring to talk about, but this one warrants talking about, because the level of detail that the developers put into this game, Polyphony Digital, is just immaculate. From the lighting to and I'm playing in performance mode, and it looks gorgeous. on performance mode already. Like the lighting, and I mean, there's a little bit of ray tracing, but I think the ray tracing is in like photo modes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the photo mode in this game is just it was similar in the last one where you can actually go into like historic vistas, or like you can like drop your favorite car in Miami or in downtown Manhattan, or by the pyramids or something like that, or in some like really cool forest in Japan. And then like you can kind of adjust the angle of it, you can adjust the properties of it, and then you adjust with the filters and the colors and the lighting and stuff like that to get that perfect shot. And man, it looks so like it really blurs the line between like how realistic it looks versus like, is this real life, or is this a game? Like, it's crazy. So yeah, the one thing I learned in photo mode is that you cannot take a screenshot in photo mode.
What?
So like, say for example, like I wanted to do yesterday, I took a really cool sick shot of a Porsche GT3. That's the first car I always save up to buy in every racing game I do. And I was like, you take a picture, then you can like share it in the Gran Turismo ether, whatever. So like people can like your photo and rate it and stuff. But then it's like, well, I want to share this. I want to like put this out to Twitter or something like that, whatever. I want to keep this on my, you can't. You hit the screenshot button and it's grayed out. You can't.
Why?
I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand, unless like Gran Turismo wants to like lock these pictures onto their own ecosystem and not have it out there. But yeah, it didn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense, and you would think like even if that's what they wanted, that Sony would be like, no, you can't do that. You can't look it on your own thing. You got it out there.
There's a way to get around it. It's called hook your system up to a capture card.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let the computer do the work.
They just got to make it a little more difficult.
Just take a picture on your phone of your TV screen. Crop it out.
Yep. Honestly, it would probably look just as good. I mean, the level of detail on these photos, man, they really went to the nines on this. So, no, the game is amazing. There's definitely a learning curve. They do have. I did just learn the other day too. They do have an auto drive mode. So if you suck at simulation racing, there is an actual like, it helps you steer and helps you brake. Yep. So like you could just kind of like hit the gas and just maybe lightly control the joystick, but it'll like actually brake for you and turn for you. So
well, at that point, what's the point?
I know. I think they put that in Forza Horizon 5, where like literally all you have to do is just sit with the controller on your lap and just hold the accelerator.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
and then literally the game just plays itself. Like I tried that once, just to like I set a destination and then I hit the gas, and it really took me there. I was like, I didn't even need to do anything.
It's probably mostly for accessibility options, but also just.
Why don't they put that in Elden Ring, Austin? Why don't they put that in Elden Ring?
We will get to that.
Why isn't there an autoplay in Elden Ring?
I will say
like
that
paying $60 for Uber.
I know it is. Like, it doesn't make sense.
They'll tell you like, hey, if you have these on, you won't have as fast times as you could by doing it by yourself. Like, the freedom is So like, if you're wanting to be competitive, you can't just do that.
Yeah, and definitely if you want to play online or you want to do some challenges, there's no way you're gonna. I don't think they even let you do that. So, but yeah.
All right, so GT7 was that it? Was that all you were doing this weekend?
Yeah, pretty much. That was all I was doing this weekend.
All right, cool. Chris, you're up.
Okay, cool. Because then I'm gonna mute myself so I don't hack and cough through Austin. I played Destiny. That was pretty much exclusively it. I've been trying to get time for Elden Ring, and it's just not happening. Because if I sit down with Elden Ring, I'm going to sit down with it for hours, and I have not had the time. This weekend was a rather busy weekend. We went and saw the Batman, which was awesome. Go see that.
Oh yeah,
like swift, fast, and in a fucking hurry. Holy shit. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that was about all I played. It was just a lot of Destiny because I can go in because I'm still trying to get my light levels up. So I jump in and jump out. I didn't even play.
Have you gotten through the I guess the story portion of that game of the Witch Queen yet? Though, have you gotten through it?
I'm on the last mission. I
Okay.
was late at night and I couldn't finish it, and I'm here now, so I'm not finishing it now. Okay. Not to complain, but I'm just saying that's the reason.
No, I'd be playing games too if I wasn't sitting here podcasting.
Yeah.
Right, right. There's so much Monster Hunter and Sifu I could be playing right now.
Yeah, I would probably be asleep. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm playing right now. I'm just not listening to anything that y'all are saying at this point.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, you do. No,
speaking of you, Austin, what have you been getting on?
I was also playing GT7 this weekend, and I really like it a lot. I have not gotten deep into a Gran Turismo since 4. I think that was the one on PS2, if I remember correctly. The last one.
4 was PS2. The last one on the PS2, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the last one that I really got into, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm loving the game loop where it's just collecting cars, getting these menus, collect these 3 cars, and I just go out and do it and just having fun with that. For me, it was like, which is getting a lot of comparisons with Forza Horizon. It's not even the same game. I try to tell people that, like, you cannot compare these 2 games. They're not the same thing. But what I like about Gran Turismo is just the constant, like, finding new cars, upgrading your cars. It's not like I like the open world of Horizon, but I do like just the simplicity of just let me buy cars, upgrade them, and go race. And that's all I really want to do. You know, I like that idea. And I'm having a blast. I'm still just in the B license because I like to just go as much as I can on one license, then take the next test and just do those. So I got the Clio RS like really early, and I love that car. So I'm all in on this. So
I am honestly, like, a few hours in, I am still using that damn car. Like,
I love it. It's a beast,
man.
Car.
It's a beast.
It reminds me of I almost bought a they make the Toyota Yaris, the inside look like it a lot, and I almost bought one, and then I drove it and I was like, oh, I don't like this. It looks cool, but it doesn't feel cool.
Yeah,
that's because it's a Toyota Yaris. Was the challenge to drive a 4-door sedan? Were you taking kids to soccer?
Well, let me tell you, the first 3 hours of this game has you driving hatchback sedans and 4-door sedans for a while. So, I guess that would be my only complaint about it, is that it takes too long to get to the kind of real good cars.
I did get the deluxe edition, so I have the money where I could just jump ahead and plus I have like cars that I already have, and I can just go get the licenses. But I'm just enjoying my time. I like getting all the trophies too, and I probably will try to get as many trophies as I can, if not platinum, in this game. So, because it's just a game that you can just click on anytime, which is good because I'm playing Horizon Forbidden West still. Did not get as far as I thought I would. Found where you can see how much you've completed in the game, and I'm at like 25%, and I've put in like 25 hours into it. So I'm like, yeesh, this is a lot.
Where are you in the story?
I just got to the Tankarth. That's the name.
Of the Tanakh?
Yeah, the Tanakh. I just got to where the 10, the screens for the 10 are. Not a total spoiler. If you don't know the game, you're not going to know anything I'm talking about. So, so I am at that point. I just left that area. I'm about to go to the next mission. I'm trying, when I play open world games, I try to like explore everything in one area as I'm going. And what's really annoying about this game is you don't have half the tools you need to explore everything. And that's super, super annoying. But I'm enjoying it nonetheless. I'm not playing Elden Ring because I tried to go back and forth between the two and it was not working. I kept getting confused. So I was like, I will put off Elden Ring for now.
I have that same problem. Like I I can't play two games that have like a similar structure at the same time because I just wind up getting turned around on like control schemes. Like I'll be doing one thing for one game and I was like, that doesn't work in this game. Why am I doing this shit?
Yeah. Well, and it's like my character in Horizon is moving 10 times as fast as my character in Elden Ring. It's like, oh yeah, I can't like just I can't just swing and dodge that fast in Elden Ring. I actually have to like time it out and pace myself, you know.
Yeah.
So I will jump back into that game because that game was really awesome, but I gotta split it up. I gotta stick to one or I'll never finish it. And then I'm playing Triangle Strategy before I go to bed every night. It's like reading a fucking book though.
Oh, is it? Oh, was it text? Is it text? Is it dialogue heavy?
Oh man, it's good. It's really deep. It's really like politics heavy.
I think I read your comment on Twitter because Mark with the network said like he played it for 5 minutes and he turned it right off.
Yeah, I was like, you got. I mean, it's good, but I want to fight. I want to hit some people.
So how far in are you?
I am on chapter 3, and I believe I looked it up, and I think they said 21 chapters in total. And from what I've heard Pat say from XP, he's saying that there's a big fight like every chapter. Mm-hmm. There's an optional fight every chapter, and then the rest is dialogue. And I usually play on my Switch or read a book like 30 minutes or so before I go to sleep. It's like my wind down stuff. And then let me tell you, this dialogue, it's good, but man, it's like it's heavy and it's like puts me right to sleep. It's like I might as well read a book about Eisenhower at this point before I go to bed. Like it's just that. It's just
hey, you leave Ike out of this.
Go read John Adams or something.
Right. That fucking guy.
American Revolution, whatever.
All right, man, that was a pretty good spread, man. Damn.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And here's the thing: is these February, March, and April is like we're gonna give you all the games you want right now, Austin, and because I want to play Kirby, and I want to play.
You actually wait. You want to play You actually want to play Kirby?
I love Kirby when it is creative, and the Switch games that Kirby has is terrible. But this one is definitely like playing the demo. It's like it feels like Mario 3D World.
Wait, a demo's available? A demo's available for it?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, it came out on Link's anniversary day.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo's like, F you, here's a Kirby demo.
Right? Yeah.
I swear they do that on purpose. Nintendo does this on purpose.
They do that on purpose. Yeah, if it's not Mario, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
They give Mario his own day,
Yeah. But
all right. Well, I had planned to play Sifu, but I strange series of events this weekend. Like Saturday morning, I got up and I turned it on, and I was going to get started, and then I realized I had to go take care of something downstairs in the front of the house, so I left it running, and like 2 hours later, I came back upstairs and I was like, oh shit, I left the game running. Like it was on the start screen. I left the game running. I completely forgotten about it. At that point, though, I was so like not into it. I just went ahead and turned it off. And then like a few hours later, guess what? I was back on Monster Hunter.
Of course.
On PC or Switch at this point? Is it
on PC? Like none of the people who want to play on Switch are on Switch right now. They're playing other shits on Switch.
Way to go, Corey. Way to go.
LeRon's playing Monster Hunter Potion Rally. Is that what you're doing? Just making potions?
You know what? No, it's fighting Apex monsters because God, like the fucking challenge of my entire weekend was trying to beat Apex Diablos, man. Like I couldn't beat him. I had the hardest time beating him solo. I had the hardest time beating him with a team and stuff. Like finally beat him Sunday night. Like Sunday, like it was one of those situations where I was like, man, what's what's the what? I can't remember which cartoon it was. I want to say it was the Bugs Bunny cartoon where he runs up the hill to go kick somebody's ass, and they sock him one time. He tumbles all the way back down to the bottom of the hill, so he runs back up again. That was basically me this entire weekend, just fighting a damn Diablos, which like a Diablos
Sounds
by
like
itself.
me playing Elden Ring.
Yeah, we all had our nightmares this weekend, and mine was Diablos, and man, it was funny too. My whole thing is though, like like the Apex monsters are in there for a challenge. What pisses me off about them though is like they don't do anything, as far as your rewards. Like, basically you get some things to help you out with some others with just crafting other weapons and stuff, but they don't have dedicated things, even though they're basically like a whole new monster in the game. So I was sitting like, man, the only reason why I'm even fucking with this is just because I just want the little check mark that says I killed the damn thing. That's the only reason why. And as soon as I got the kill off of that bastard, I went and moved on to the next Apex monster, which now I'm sitting here like today's Tuesday, so it's day 2 of me trying to kill Apex Rathalos, and it's like, goddamn. Like, why are they hitting so fucking hard? The monsters aren't hard themselves; they're just hitting like fucking trucks, and I'm getting pissed. I'm almost ready. I'm almost ready to start cheesing, and I don't cheese in Monster Hunter.
Are you ready for the announcement tomorrow? Isn't it tomorrow?
It's the
it was the 14th or something like that, wasn't it?
Oh,
the 15th. The 15th. Tomorrow's tomorrow is.
Well, yeah, I saw both of them around the same time, so it's like, wait, are they both tomorrow? Is this a feud?
Now the Nintendo the Monster Hunter event is on the 15th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's everything. That's everything we've been playing, guys. So you guys are. By the way, for everyone out there that's out there in Streamland right now, like if you want to check out like a write up on what we played this weekend, there's a link in the chat right now. You can check it out. It's basically Crossroads Weekend. What are we playing? So yeah, like that's a weekly article that we've started up. So like yeah, come back every weekend. That usually goes live Saturday mornings at 8:00. Check it out. See what we're playing. Give you some ideas. Hell, hit us up on Discord. Let us know what you guys are playing. Give us some ideas, because Austin basically broke his New Year's resolution from 2 years ago, which was
hey, we don't talk about that. That was last year's resolution.
You said going forward though. If Nelly was here right now, she would back me up on this.
Going forward till 2022, I'm pretty sure that was in the that was the footnote that was down there.
Stop those lies. Just stop it. All right. We ready? Ready to talk about well, crap. We need to talk about the new games coming out, don't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. This might be the first week this year that, well, since season ramped up, this might be the first week this year is not too bad, but at the same time, it's still trying to bloody our noses.
We do need a break.
We sure do.
We need a break.
Stoy, correct me if I'm wrong. Does Tunic come out on Game Pass this week? Or is that next week?
That's next week.
Next week, dang.
Yeah, we looked ahead. We looked ahead on that. So,
which by the way, might as well get it out the way now. Like Stoy mentioned it earlier that Arsenal X is no longer a thing. It's basically on an indefinite hiatus for the time being over for Boss Rush Network, which is why Stoy is now part of our show. Like we welcomed him in. We told him.
Yeah, hey, what? Screw Xbox. I hate Xbox. It's a stupid system. I don't like it. I'm PlayStation now. PlayStation's my friend. Xbox is no longer my friend.
I thought we agreed.
Someone needs to make that meme. Someone needs to make that meme of me high-fiving a PlayStation.
He's like that Dave Chappelle bit where he said, honestly, Coke and Pepsi taste the same to me. But right now Pepsi's paying me, so tastes better. Tastes better to me.
Yeah, so right now PlayStation's better.
Well, I was going to say that we were going to integrate some more Xbox content into this show, but if we want to be strictly PlayStation, I don't mind.
I don't like. I mean, it's one of those things. You have a great thing going with this. You guys all have a good thing going with this show. There's no reason for me to come in and just change everything. And honestly, I think you would lose the identity of the show by changing. Obviously you can make little changes to the show format or whatever, as you see fit. But, I don't think I don't think we should introduce the Xbox stuff. I honestly, because that would require changing the name, and we don't. And LeRon, you and I talked about that. We don't want to do that. So,
Cool.
I'm whatever.
This is all. Yeah, it's all about keeping our
Fuck
identity.
Xbox.
Yes. Yeah. Fuck Xbox. Fuck it.
I mean, I have a PC, so basically, I'm playing Xbox games anyway.
Yeah. Game
I'll
Pass
believe
is
me
a
when
stupid
Tunic comes
service.
out.
No one should get Game Pass because it's stupid. They have stupid games on it, and it's waste of money.
Oh,
Ben,
well, thanks for
no
reminding me.
fun.
I need to look and see what's on Game Pass this week.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of hoping Game Pass announces that Tiny Tina Wonderlands is coming to Game Pass because that would be nice for me to play on day one and then wait for it to go on sale on PlayStation a bunch later. That'd be my plan. So I'm rooting for Game
I
Pass.
already bought it on PlayStation. Got the deluxe edition. I'm pretty
Just
excited
wait.
about that game.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right. All right. So here are the new games coming out this week, the week of March the 7th to March 13th for PlayStation. So this week we have we've only got 2 days of releases to worry about, and that happens on the 10th and the 11th of March. But Elden Ring is still taking up a lot of occupancy in a lot of people's stations and stuff like that. But a God is on the way to a console near you, but it's not the God that we're waiting for. I'm sorry if I got your hopes up about a God of War announcement. I'm sorry.
Did you practice this?
I think he did it in the mirror like several times, and then he got nervous as he was going into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to break everyone's immersion, but this seemed rehearsed.
Yeah. I did it in the mirror with no shirt on.
No, LeRon, that's dumb. It sounds you could do this.
LeRon, they're gonna make fun of you. Stoy's gonna be on the show. You know he's gonna make fun of you.
All right, so this week sees a slight reprieve for gamers as High Caliber releases slow down for the moment, but like I said, be careful because like as Austin mentioned, like man, like the next few months are just gonna be crazy. Your games that released this week on March the 10th start with Assassin's Creed Valhalla: Dawn of Ragnarok. This is the expansion. Basically,
This
playing
ain't an
as
expansion. This is a full game. You know how long this expansion is? 30 hours.
Okay, this is an expansion that basically is. This is what I love expansions. I love expansions that actually
Ubisoft needs to stop with this stuff.
Oh, true, because it's not really 30 hours. It's not really 30 hours.
I mean, it can be, but it's not.
It's gonna be like 300 hours.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, I assume Hannah's happy about this. I assume, or is she gonna?
I don't think she knows. I just texted her.
That an expansion was coming.
She's been she was waiting for Horizon, and she just lived that for 2 weeks, which is why I didn't get to play Elden Ring fucking at all.
Yeah. Now, please take note. This is an expansion game, so you need to have Assassin's Creed Valhalla to play this game. So don't come blowing us up later on in chat or whatever and saying you told us this game was coming out and I can't play it. Like no, it's an expansion. You need to have the base game to play this game, just like you need to have all them other games to play the new content that comes out. Come on, guys, you know what's up with this. Also coming out, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla: Dawn of Ragnarok is basically on PS5, PS4, and basically every other damn system you play Assassin's Creed Valhalla on. So there you go. Also coming out on the 10th is Dead by Daylight, Sadako Rising. That's coming out to PS5 and PS4. You've also got Young Souls coming to PS4, and you've got Submerged Hidden Depths coming to PS5 and PS4. On the 11th of March, WWE 2K22. After a 2.5-year hiatus, the WWE 2K video game series is back in a big way with WWE 2K22.
I hope so.
That's a tongue twister in itself. Jesus Christ.
I hope so, because 2020 was Whew.
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah.
All right, so this game boasts a redesigned engine, new controls, all the features that you can handle. Basically, their slogan for this one is WWE 2K22. It hits different. So hopefully, it does hit different because anything's a better improvement than 2K20.
It was so bad. So me and my friends will play WWE 2K18 because we all created our Dungeons and Dragons characters in WWE, and we'll have them wrestle. And we were going to do 20 and redo our characters and everything, and we're really glad we did not all buy it because it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, I've heard so much about how bad the game was.
Which NBA was that? Like NBA 2K something a long time ago, where the acting was just atrocious.
Well, honestly, they've all been pretty bad. I think all the story modes are bad. I thought you were about to talk about NBA Live 16, where it went gold. They printed the disc and then they canceled the game.
Oh, yeah, no. I think I just remember the acting in that particular NBA game was pretty bad. It's like, oh boy, someone called the weather service. It's raining buckets out there.
They're still bad. It is so bad. And the worst part is like when you create a player, they give you your nickname. You can't pick your nickname. It's always something stupid like, oh, it's Triple D or whatever. I'm like, my name is Austin. I don't know where the D comes from. I don't know why it's triple. I'm a center. I don't shoot threes. What are you doing?
And the last game coming out this week is Hotel Transylvania: Scary Tale Adventures for PS5, PS4. If you've watched any of the movies, you already know shenanigans are up in this game. So that's all I need to say about that. A complete list of the upcoming games for PlayStation systems can be found on our website, which is bossrush.net. So head over there, check it out. There's a Reddit for it, which is also a weekly thing that we're doing now for that as well. So head over to the website, give us some love. Give us some views. So I guess the question is which of these releases have you the most excited for purchasing or playing?
I'm taking a break.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is Adam Sandler going to be in the Hotel Transylvania game? Maybe I'll play it then. Did they sprinkle the voice acting? Probably not. Probably not.
Well, there you have it.
I'd rather not give the WWE money, but it's just me.
Yeah. Admittedly, every time I always hear that there's a new expansion pass coming to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that always kind of gets me to think like maybe I should pick it up and continue playing it again because I put it down like last year and just it bombards me because like every time they release new DLC, I know that's an added 20 extra hours. And Ubisoft does that where this is significant story content that's very important to the game that we are making you buy again and again and again. So Ubisoft is selling you a $120 game and telling you like, but this is important to the story. That's why I have YouTube. Because I never finished Odyssey. Because all the Atlantis expansion packs afterwards. They said like that gets you the true ending, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna go play through like 60 extra hours of campaign stuff just to get the true ending. YouTube.com/Assassin's Creed Odyssey endings. Ugh.
Wasn't there also something going on where they were releasing like these packs that were basically like weapon and armor packs, but it was also be tantamount to completion of the game?
Yeah. So it's kind of funny.
That's some bullshit.
We talked about this this past week because Josh is a fighting game expert and he just gets burned when Capcom decides to. I don't know if you heard about Capcom,
the championship editions and all that shit.
Well, no, like Capcom is going to start to make it a lot more difficult for people to run homegrown tournaments. You're going to have to actually apply for an esports license to run a tournament with Street Fighter 5 and especially with Street Fighter 6 when it comes out. I mean, I'm not going to bore you with the details.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah, it got him pretty heated because this could really shut down a lot of things. Like if you have a prize pool attached to it, Capcom's going to want a little cut of that money, or they're going to tell you you can't run it. So it's funny when you play Street Fighter 5 that they have ads in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They have ads in the game for their own DLC. So it's like before every fight, they'll show you an ad of just like, hey, buy more DLC. Assassin's Creed does that. Every time you start the game up, hey, buy some of our DLC. Oh, by the way, you're going to need this to beat the game. Like, man, that was a roundabout way of me bitching. But
you know what?
No,
I'm sorry.
All I have to say is like, I've said this before. I've said this time and again.
Video games are a business.
Well, video, that for sure. But also, like, gamers are the reason why this shit happens. Like I guarantee you, Street Fighter 6 rolls out and sells 100,000 copies. Like they will learn a lesson.
Well, they did that with Street Fighter 5. They didn't have an arcade mode in Street Fighter 5 when it came out. It was all trials. It was all trials, challenges, and online. That was it. So then all of a sudden, like the people got pissed off because it's like you don't have an arcade mode, and they were like, "Well, you guys said you didn't want one, right?" And everyone was like, "No, we never said that."
It's like y'all
stupid.
Street Fighter 5 was the most half-assed game. Like I was like, man. I'm glad I didn't pay for it when it first came out. I'm glad I did not.
Yeah, because now it's like you can buy Championship Edition, get every fighter in every level for $30. Like before people get their panties in a twist when I say I didn't pay for it, I meant my roommate bought the game, and I played his game, and it was like, man, this is some bullshit, and I stopped playing that game. No, no. Sounds like stealing, LeRon.
No,
not according to that PlayStation E3 where they just
I mean, shit. If we must get down to details here, he bought the game and played it on my PS4. So who technically has ownership?
Still Capcom.
Who has custody?
Yeah, who has custody of the child?
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started with tonight's news. Oh boy. Here we go. All right, so Gran Turismo 7 has quietly been removed from Russian release. You know what? Chalk this up to a case of punching a dick, because basically that's the move right now that Sony pulled. Sony Interactive Entertainment removed Gran Turismo 7 from release in the Russian Federation on the day of the highly anticipated racer's launch. You heard me right. Gran Turismo 7, which was released on PS5 and PS4 this past week, March the 4th, worldwide, it's currently unavailable to buy digitally via the Russian PlayStation Store. Currently, all listings for Gran Turismo 7 show its release date as pending confirmation.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it does.
Honestly, I don't know why they did it quietly. They could have just come out and been like, yeah, no, we just can't put it out there. Like,
All right. Now, Sony has recently...
No reception.
Huh? What was that?
I said the internet's bad. We can't get it out there. Sorry, just no reception.
Supply chain issues. Supply chain issues. You know how that goes.
It's
not enough bandwidth.
Not enough chips. Not enough chips here. It's not enough.
All right, so Sony has recently garnered uncomfortable attention around the world right now, as its currently the most high-profile game company, which has yet to withdraw products from sale in Russia following Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. The Russian act of aggression began on February 24th and is being aided by neighboring country Belarus. Just in case for people that didn't know, like what's going on in the world right now, because some people live in a little bubble where all they do is look at their little stuff online, or they go to their job and and then they come home and go to sleep. Just in case there's a conflict going on in the world right now. Chris, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say it's not the Ukraine. The Ukraine is the Soviet holdover.
My bad.
It's technically Ukraine.
I didn't mean to say it like that. It's a pattern. It's a pattern of speech for me.
It is. It's actually something I've had to rethink because I grew up at the tail end of the Cold War too, and so it was the Ukraine, but specifically fuck the Russians. So, it's been it's just one of those things. I didn't know. I thought it was Kiev too, but that's actually a Soviet holdover as well. It's
Kiev.
Kiev.
Yeah.
I thought you all were just saying the Ukraine because you're old, like the Facebook or the internet. Like I just that's what it was. Okay.
You're kind of right. On that.
Okay. I mean, just because I'm a Gen X, you don't have to call me out like that. Shit.
No.
Hey, at least I know how to use a fucking analog phone.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, you got to make sure you have fucking 3G towers to use things. Can't just level shit. Literally, I it's hilarious to me having studied all of this shit. Like that was my thing. And in college, I literally studied this subject just in case it happened again. Thinking I would never use it, I would just teach 7th grade fucking social studies. And just the level of incompetence of the Russian army. Like everybody was afraid of them for 40 years.
Well, like the only thing I'm going to say is it gets nervous. It gets nervous when I start talking nuclear because I
Is that
feel
shit
like
gonna work?
You think they're gonna bomb a neighboring country?
Well, here's my
Nuclear.
thing, and maybe maybe it's because I'm old. Maybe I'm a throwback of the Cold War and stuff like that. I take a Russian nuclear threat a little more seriously than I take a fucking like North Korean nuclear threat. Or a China nuclear threat. I take that. I take Russian nuclear threat a little bit more serious, even though we know this, Russia has had so many fumbles with in the nuclear age that like they really need to like think before they do shit. But at the same time,
I wouldn't exactly describe Chernobyl as a fumble, more as a cataclysmic. We're on the one line. We're gonna win the game, and I'm gonna throw the ball instead of handing it to Marshawn.
Chris, I was living in. Chernobyl happened. What year did Chernobyl happen?
1986.
I was living in Germany at the time when that happened.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was just being. I knew what you meant. Like I got all that. I just being funny.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I didn't know that. Actually, like I have a million questions I want to ask you now that we can't do before this turns into the history podcast.
Yeah, no. We're not doing that tonight. We're not doing that tonight.
No. This isn't the time for that. No, but it's just the Soviet Union fell for a reason, right? Like they were fucking shit up in the 80s, and they don't want to fucking be part of Russia. The Soviets were really, really shitty. They killed 3 million Ukrainians at one point in time. Stalin did. It was right after the right after. I mean, it obviously has to be
right after World War II.
Yeah, right after. It has to be before 53. I can't remember exactly the years on that end off the top of my head. Stalin dies in 53. 53, 52. I confused him and the Queen of England. Fucking COVID fucked up my ability to remember exactly what years of all fucking things, and I'm a historian.
Poor Chris.
Yeah, it's just fucking terrible. Good
right.
God, they're bad at it. Holy shit.
All right, so circling back.
Before we circle back, I want to just make sure I threw one more, fucking Putin and all them out there.
All right, Eurogamer claims Sony made the decision not to sell the game in Russia on Thursday night. Although the company has yet to make any official comment on the move at all. Last week, Ukraine's deputy prime minister called upon Xbox and PlayStation to halt support in both Russia and Belarus. Okay. Mikhailo Fedorov. There we go. I got it. Encourage both platform holders to block all Russian and Belarusian accounts and temporarily stop the participation of their nation's teams and players in all international esports events. That's gaming, by the way.
Yep, hell yeah, let's do it.
In a now deleted tweet, Fedorov also called on Riot Games, Electronic Arts, Ubisoft, and Wargaming to close their offices in Russia. He wrote, "There's no place for the aggressor on the global technological map." I put that actual copy of that. Well, not that tweet because it's deleted, but I put here's initial tweet to PlayStation and Microsoft. Oh, I'm sorry, Xbox, because Xbox acts like they're an entity outside Microsoft sometimes. I put that in our Twitch chat for you right now. You can go check that out. Neither Sony nor PlayStation has responded to the letter, and there has been no official word from Sony on the company's removal of Gran Turismo 7 from release in Russia as of this time. Gran Turismo 7, as we all know, is currently available for PS5 and PS4. So, we've already said what we had to say, but there's a couple of questions that are posed out there to our audience right now. Like, what are your thoughts on Sony's suspension of the Gran Turismo? Actually, what are your thoughts on Sony's suspension of Gran Turismo 7 in the Russian Federation, guys?
Yep, it sounds like they can fucking afford it. How much is a PlayStation? The ruble is $167 for every American dollar. Things are fucking outrageous.
Well, and and it dropped substantially now. So
Yeah.
It's oh well. Honestly, we shouldn't be selling shit there at this point. And it seems like a very, very global collective because Russia seems to have fucked even the Chinese because they wanted to take Taiwan, so they didn't need anybody bringing any kind of attention to shit like that and invading Ukraine.
Oh yeah, China's got a real wait and see attitude right now. If I wouldn't be surprised if Russia fucks this up so bad that China doesn't try to make an incursion into Russia.
And I don't. I just no. I don't. Honestly, fuck them. Seriously, and with as much as it sucks for the Russian people, it sucks way more for the Ukrainian people. So I couldn't care less. And it is as much as everybody says it's a democracy, and that it's not really that. And it is state TV, and you have people having their minds basically warped, and the people who are protesting are being arrested, right? But when they can't fucking eat, they're eventually going to overthrow their government because that's how that shit works historically. I know that sounds really, really, really crass, but historically, if you're gonna fight a war, fight it from the people who live there. That's just the way it fucking works. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's as shitty as that sounds, but if the Russian people have to take care of their own people, if their own people are rioting, they can't invade anybody. Not that they can fucking do it in the first place, but I'm sorry, you don't get a PlayStation when your leader is committing war crimes and killing children, fucking kids. So again, get fucked. And that's my piece on it. I'm gonna be quiet for a while.
Austin, Story, you got anything to add to that?
I mean, ultimately, in the end, Sony and Microsoft are a business. Let's keep that in mind. That's all. So it's one of those things. If they choose to continue to sell their products in Russia, I guess. I mean, admittedly, we might as well just we shouldn't demonize them. I feel because it does become a slippery slope because it's like, in order to pressure Russia, do we punish their people who are protesting, who are going out on the street and don't want any of this? Ultimately, in the end, echoing what Chris said, is that eventually that's what's going to happen. That's why Vietnam was such a fucking nightmare for the United States, because the United States the citizens were grossly against it. Mm-hmm. So this same thing is going to happen to Russia, even though Russia already had their own Vietnam. It was called Afghanistan. Yeah. But, this is going to be the same thing repeating over again for them.
Yeah. If we miss nuclear war, it's because the Russian people rose up. Like, let's fucking call it like it is. They're gonna have to do something. And like I said, they've got to get leaned on. And it's with things. Sorry, not to jump back into on you, Stoy, but it's not like people can afford any extras really right now, anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
this is crazy.
Yeah, I think they got more important things to worry about than Gran Turismo 7 and Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
But
even though Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to be $10 when it launches on PS5.
I thought it was going to be more than that because I thought Xbox was cheaper.
There's a small amount of time where Gran Turismo is going to be like $10.
Grand Theft Auto?
Not to take away from Grand Theft Auto. Okay. GTA 5. When until June 14th, GTA 5, when it releases, you can get it for $10. And you already know, like, GTA Online is coming free to anyone that has PlayStation Plus. Right, after the 14th of June, it'll be $40 for the entire package, single player and online. So yeah. Sorry, not to have jumped away from the from the Ukraine news and stuff like that.
But I mean, my last piece is I don't feel we should demonize a company for choosing to, continue with business as usual. I mean, it's ultimately their decision. It's ultimately their right. I mean, they can continue to run business as usual. We shouldn't leave it up to Sony and Microsoft to commit political embargoes on a company or on a country, I should say. So, I mean,
we always want politics. We always want politics to be out of things we love, like gaming, for example.
I mean,
stuff like that. So yeah, we should pay more attention to that.
We should let embargoes do their thing, obviously, because they work. We know that, and we see that live happening as is. Their stock market's crashing, like in record numbers. But like I said, to finally put an end to the piece, we shouldn't be looking to Sony and Microsoft or any other video game developer or company.
McDonald's, Pepsi.
Yeah, McDonald's, Pepsi, Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
same thing. I mean, it's like social media is putting pressure on these companies to commit their own embargoes, but keep in mind, they still have businesses to run and they have people to serve still.
Yeah, and and McDonald's showed that you can do it really fucking well because they're going to continue to pay their employees, but they're shutting all their stores down.
Yeah,
it can be done, and these companies can lead in that aspect. And a lot of times it doesn't necessarily have to. It's not like they understand that they're not going to be able to afford that shit anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about the catastrophe. Russia is going to default on its money. Right, like I don't think they should sell it. That's my opinion, but I'm not fucking Mr. Sony. Like I don't fucking run that shit. It's not my thing.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I totally understand what both of you are saying, and honestly, the only reason why they're doing it is because every other company has. So I'm not gonna like praise or demonize either one of them for doing something that everyone else has already jumped on the wagon for.
Yeah,
because at this point, the line's here drawn, everyone's on board, but like there's other countries that are pretty shitty to other people and no one seems to draw the line there. And that's why it's like, all right, we're all on board for this one. Of course, this is the only one that caused nuclear war, but like China, Saudi Arabia, I don't know if you're Gulf fans, but Phil Mickelson is in some hot water for his deal with Saudi Arabia. So it's just
South Sudan and Sudan. That's been going. The civil war has been going on since 2013. They've been
for years.
And the difference, Austin, is what you said is nuclear. It's Ukraine is it's a European nation. Nobody's invaded anywhere, and really, I mean, there's Crimea, but it hasn't been to this stature where people are like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like the next step is very naturally going to be a NATO country, and that is when it's going to be balls to the wall.
Yep.
And that's the difference. Nukes are involved.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next topic.
Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah.
By the way, looked up Adam Sandler not confirmed to be in the game, so don't know if it's going to be a day one buy for me, guys.
Same. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait.
Shame.
I'm gonna wait for the reviews.
Sandman will sell me, but no Sandman, no buy for me. That's for sure.
All right. Well, in case you missed all this news going on right now, we've got Twisted Metal series coming to Peacock, and it looks like Amazon Prime is being primed for a live-action God of War series.
He does practice these. He does rehearse these.
Yeah, I know. Like, come on.
Douses himself in oil.
Oh my god! If you guys go back and watch some like the original episodes of Crossroads, like I'm always stuttering. I'm like every 2 seconds, stuff like that. I've come a long way in 73 episodes.
No, man, we're proud of you. We're proud of you.
All right, so NBC's streaming service Peacock has ordered the first season of PlayStation Productions' Twisted Metal adaptation. Anthony Mackie, if you guys haven't heard, will be starring in the show, as well as an executive producer role of the show, which is based on the Vehicular Mayhem vehicle game franchise of the same name. The show was first reported as being in development back in February of 2021, so over a year ago. Like we got news that this was coming. This show is going to be broken down into half-hour action comedy bits, which will see Mackie playing a character by the name of John Doe, who's a smart-ass milkman who talks as fast as he drives. He's got no memory of his past. John gets a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make his wish of finding community come true, but only if he can survive an onslaught of savage vehicular combat.
See, this is what I don't understand. Sony hasn't made a new Twisted Metal game in 15 years.
Yeah,
feels that way.
Feels like about 10 years.
Feels like about 10. Yeah, and they decide let's make a TV show out of a hugely dormant franchise. It just doesn't make sense to me why they would go this route. I mean, I'm all for it, but it's just I'm getting a lot of question marks circling around in my head.
I just want to know who Chris Pratt is going to play.
Yeah, is Chris Pratt in this?
See, why'd you sully this?
All I know is
Chris Pratt's
an American hero.
Chris Pratt's not in this, but Will Arnett is.
And Will
See,
Arnett.
Will Arnett's not
That's
bad.
right. Well,
He's not in
Will
every-
Arnett
Let's go
was
back to
supposed play
talking about Chris Pratt. Let's go back to talking about Chris Pratt.
Oh God. Oh God.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
What have we done, Chris? You just shut your mouth from now on.
Chris hates Chris Pratt. Just period.
No, I used to appreciate him, and then I was like, oh man, I like Chris Pratt in this movie. I like Chris Pratt in this movie. Why is he in every movie?
And why does he
playing
play
the-
as Chris Pratt in every Chris Pratt movie?
Yeah, like I got to Guardians of the Galaxy, good movie. Jurassic World, good movie. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, good movie. And everything else is just he's playing. It's like he's playing Star-Lord. Every
But I mean,
Is that the fault? Is that the fault of the actor though? Is that the fault of the writing talent? And the
oh
production
no,
talent
that's
keeps giving him
that
the
is
script?
it is 100% probably not Pratt's fault. He
Is typecasted. Yep.
I mean,
but he is pretty much.
It's just like I'm pissed off. I'm pissed
He's
off.
making money.
I mean, I'm pissed off every time Michelle Rodriguez is in a movie and it's not Fast and Furious. She's always dying. You know, that's typecasting.
I don't.
Poor Michelle
she's wearing the
movie she was
the
in.
red suit. Is she wearing a red suit, or isn't that the Star Trek reference? I don't know.
Listen,
Christ.
listen. Wes Anderson, if you're watching this, put Chris Pratt in your next movie.
That'd be great.
If he can act in a Wes Anderson movie, he can play anything in Hollywood.
what has Wes Anderson done?
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Oh God. Oh God.
Just tell me a fucking movie, dude.
The Life Aquatic, Royal Tenenbaums.
Okay, thank you. That's all you had to say. Like, shit, I don't always recognize fucking directors by
No, you're gonna get a movie buff. You're gonna get a movie historian, and you're gonna ask him, "What has Wes Anderson done?" Oh my God.
We're not all nerds here, you know.
Bottle Rocket.
I mean,
I'm
I'm not
Yeah.
okay. Okay, if anyone knows me, they know for sure I'm not a fucking movie nerd. I'm a fucking comic book nerd. I'm a fucking Star Trek nerd. That's what I am. I'm barely a video game nerd.
We used to go to Movie Stop like once a week.
I know that. I know that. And you know, and while you were over there doing your thing, looking at all the other movies, where was I? I was in the sci-fi section and anime section.
That's probably true. I was in the art films.
Okay, going back to Twisted Metal. Jesus Christ.
Coming to Peacock, by the way.
All right, so the season order.
MacGruber series on Peacock, by the way. MacGruber, number 1.
We're never gonna get through this.
my God.
I'm very well aware that I'm half the problem here, so I will gladly not dip out at 10. Just
I lost my place. Okay, all right, so.
Chris Pratt?
You know what? I'm done talking about Twisted Metal. But there's something else we need to talk about in this segment.
Chris Pratt wasn't Chris Pratt in Zero Dark 30. I'll admit that.
Yeah, that was like. I feel like that was like his first breakaway. I feel like that was the movie he got his start in. You know, as far as the movie industry goes, because I've known this guy from Parks and Rec. You know,
He was in
Yeah.
Well,
Moneyball.
he got
I
in
don't know
shape
which
for that
one
and
was
maybe
first,
some other
though.
things.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That's the last time I want to talk about Chris Pratt.
I just want to I want to see him do a dramatic role and it not feel like Chris Pratt is playing that character. Like Bill Murray can play anything. Show me some acting chops, sir. Do something.
All right, so back to this story that's trying to crash and burn.
It already has.
Oh, if you don't think if you don't think Pratt's coming up with God of War, you were wrong, sir.
All right, for fuck's sake, Amazon Prime might become the home for a live action adaptation of God of War, which is one of the most popular video game franchises of all time. The information was revealed by Deadline in the exclusive article with the news of the possible pickup by Amazon Video, which, according to sources, states that Prime Video is in negotiation for a live TV series for God of War. The adaptation appears to prospectively be helmed by the Expanse creators and executive producers, which are a team of Mark Fergus and Hawk Osby. And also the Wheel of Time's executive producer, showrunner Rafe Judkins. This will also be a venture by Sony Pictures Television and PlayStation Productions, which will all collaborate with Amazon Prime to put the series together. I said a lot.
You did.
And I did get tongue twisted. I'm amazed.
Well done. Those are some European names.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So well done.
right?
You forgot the part where Chris Pratt's already shaved his head to play Kratos.
He's already
Productions-
tattooed the red stripe across his body.
Yeah, he saw the announcement. He was like, "Oh fuck yeah, they're gonna hire me for this one."
Oh
This
yeah,
is right up my
you kidding
alley.
me? I'm Mario, for fuck's sake. They better hire me for Kratos.
It makes so much sense.
we're gonna turn this into a pod clip, and it's gonna be all about Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
All right,
Guys,
PlayStation
what if we
Productions.
just make our own Chris Pratt podcast?
Oh man, that sounds like a Crossroad Plus episode coming up.
Hell yeah.
Name a Chris Pratt movie you like that he didn't play Chris Pratt.
Moneyball.
You act like I've
Ish.
seen that many Chris Pratt
That
movies.
he was a star in.
Oh, God.
Wasn't he the main actor in Zero Dark 30? Wasn't he the main actor?
No, he was not.
No, he was. Jessica Chastain was the main actress, so to speak. But yeah, he was just the guy that said, playing horseshoes. So we're going to kill Bin Laden. Just remember that line from him. That was the most Chris Pratt line he did in the whole movie.
Yeah.
All right. So time will tell if Sony and Amazon will go forward on bringing God of War to the small screen. There's also no news on whether the series will follow Kratos' exploits in either the Greek mythology or the Norse mythology. So we don't know anything about this series yet. So we'll have to learn about the franchise's timeline whenever we get more information for it.
So do we know, is this going to be live action or is this going to be anime?
It's like as far as I've heard from the resource from the release on Deadline, is that it's supposed to be live action, so which means they got.
I really wish it was anime. I really wish.
Yeah, I know, because then they could get as violent as they want.
Yeah, and get as
that.
fantastical as they want, especially if they go into the ancient Greek, times. Like some of those villains and enemies were fantastical. Like it would be great to see that.
I still remember God of War 3 ripping that guy's head off from his fucking shoulders. I remember that.
That was Apollo.
Yeah.
Was it Apollo?
Yeah, it was Apollo.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was Helios. That was it. Yeah. Flew close to
Helios.
the sun.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was brutal. I the flashing and the lights and stuff. Yeah. If they're looking to do it big, they're not going to do a cartoon. They want it to be more appealing, right? Like Vox Machina, that makes sense as a cartoon because fucking nerds are going to watch that because they already listen to the podcast. I love that show. I am a fucking nerd. I'm okay with it. But your average viewer, they may not tune into it if it's a cartoon, but like my dad will actually watch God of War. If I'm like, Dad, go watch this, he'll watch the whole fucking thing. He actually watched
people not into the series.
Exactly. It's got to be more appealing. For what it's worth, I also told him about Vox Machina, and he watched all of it before I have. So,
all right. So I'm only gonna. I had like a whole bunch of questions lined up for this topic, but
I would not. I'm only
gonna ask one.
That's a bad idea.
If a God of War series is coming out, which timeline would you prefer it be in? Would you prefer it be in the Greek timeline or the Norse timeline? I'm more partial to the Norse timeline. That's because I fucking hated the original God of War series.
Wow.
I did.
This man over here runs a PlayStation podcast.
Okay.
It hasn't played Ghost of Tsushima.
Still hasn't played Ghost of Tsushima. I bet you he hasn't even touched Horizon Forbidden West. Has he, Austin?
No,
I have not.
No? Oh God.
So let me explain myself here on the original God of War.
I don't even want to. I don't know.
I'm going to hear it.
I've heard this story before. I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Okay, me personally, to answer your question, I would much rather have it be in the ancient Greek times because that's where all the kind of like backdrop story is, like the setup. Yeah, because if we drop them into Norse times, we don't have a lot of that. Well, what happened to Kratos? Was he was a Greek general and like his family was murdered by himself? But I don't know. I just feel like for story composition, it would just make sense to be in the ancient Greek days.
Okay,
yeah, you can do both.
To give you guys the cliff notes, of my problem with the original God of War is Kratos was a very compelling character in the first God of War game. It was very compelling, and then what we got 2 3/4 of extra games where he was just being a little fucking bitch. I was getting tired of it. Yeah, he's doing great things. He's slaying gods and stuff like that. But at the same time, he's like, "Won't you please free me from these nightmares?" I got sick of it to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. It's like I thought I was playing with some badass guy who became a god, not some emo kid that can't get off his fucking stool.
Good
I
damn
mean-
it, Athena.
I mean,
just
as a
dream too
dad,
much.
it would be fucking terrible to realize I murdered my kid and then try to sleep with that. So I can kind of
Where his
meet him on that
ashes
ethereal
are.
level. Yeah,
I get it. He's a tragic hero. I understand
That's
that.
the point.
Me personally, as a writer, I try my best not to create tragic heroes. I try not to, because ultimately at the end of the day, I will wind up hating the character I created, and I don't understand how David Jaffe and them did not wind up hating Kratos.
Well, David Jaffe, I think, only did the first game
Yeah, he dropped out of the first game.
and then dropped. So
Yeah.
after that, it's kind of out of his
Yeah, because
hands.
David Jaffe had a completely different story for Kratos after that
Yeah.
first one.
David
Okay,
Jaffe would have kept
completely
that fucked up. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was his plan, because his plan was to literally go through all the ancient gods and just destroying and murdering all the mythological gods in history. So at least that's what I thought I heard his plan was supposed to be.
Well,
Kratos was just supposed to be a god killer.
Austin, did you?
I think Norse would be good for live action. I agree with Stoy. Like, I would be better to have the pre-story, but I would rather see the Greek stuff in an anime form, and they could do like what they do with The Witcher, where they have like all the side content that's like pre stuff. Like they could do that for the anime, and then like the real stuff could be Norse. I just feel like the Norse would be better for the live action part, whereas I mean they could do the Greek stuff, but it would be a lot cooler in
A lot of
animated
special
style.
effects.
Yeah, it'd be a lot cooler animated. The only point I want to bring up though is it seemed like Sony and Netflix were really in the bed together, and now all of a sudden nothing with Netflix now. I think that's interesting. I think it's a little interesting. But
Wait,
'cause
what
they-
was
they
Sony? What was Sony and Netflix trying to do?
well, Netflix was supposed to do Twisted Metal first.
Oh, really?
And then we had all those like weird
Wait,
Sony
were they
Netflix
supposed to?
stuff
Were they
leak.
supposed to, or was that rumored?
I'm pretty sure that was confirmed.
Because-
I'm pretty sure that's where Peacock got it from. Like they dropped out.
Weren't they initially in talks with picking up the Last of Us series too?
Yeah, I do know about Last of Us, but
Yeah.
I want to say that went south when Netflix was, got their hands on Resident Evil.
Yeah, which I'm okay with because HBO is great.
Yeah,
they do great stuff. I love
yes,
it.
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah, I mean, shit could be worse. Could be on Apple TV.
Hey, man.
One more thing we have to subscribe to.
I got my
Oh,
6
I'm not-
months.
no,
I'm
no, no,
watching
no, I'm
Movie
not-
Plus.
no, no,
and
no.
I'm
I'm not knocking Apple TV on its quality. Apple TV has like wonderful quality. I'm just knocking the fact that if I have to subscribe to one more fucking thing, just to watch one more goddamn show.
yeah, but you're cutting the cord. You're cutting cable.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's,
no more
bullshit.
satellite.
it's
Yeah,
like
you, get so much
satellite.
more, you get so much more content than you used to. Like,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I watch all of my apps.
Mhm.
I didn't watch all the channels I had.
I just wish there was like a way where you could like take all these channels of TV, put them in a package, and then pay for one package. I wish someone could create a system like that where you could do that.
Yeah,
You mean like you mean like cable? Kind of.
Yeah, you could call it cable. I guess that's a good name. That's a good name.
But,
have Jim Carrey.
But like
come put it in your house.
what would be nice if they could like kind of like take TV and send it to like a satellite or something like that, and then have it like beam down to houses like super quick. Like it could probably be really efficient too, especially in bad weather.
you wait. No, that should. I was with you until the bad weather. That shit doesn't work.
You've completely mindfucked Chris now.
Sorry, I'm doing that. to you, Chris, but-
I'm way too tired and not great. You threw me with the no weather.
Yeah.
What?
all right,
Anyway.
all right. We're gonna go ahead and move off this topic. Man, this was that topic was a clusterfuck. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, you keep talking about movies and people keep casting Chris Pratt in them.
And someone keeps talking about Chris Pratt. Just gonna say, yeah.
You were Chris. You were the person that brought up Chris Pratt. You were that person.
Yeah, you didn't see that coming?
I should not have seen that coming. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, you are wrong.
Honestly, let's make a pact right now that we only mention Chris Pratt once per episode from here on out.
No.
I
No.
can agree to that.
I
But
can
what
agree
if-
to that.
Does he? What happens if you say it 3 times?
I am not agreeing to that. That's the problem.
If you
What do
say
you
Chris
mean?
Pratt 3 times, he gets cast in something he's clearly not talented enough for.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. We're moving on. Forspoken has been delayed until October 2022. This is going to be such a quick topic. Jesus Christ.
You think?
We all saw this coming, admittedly.
We did. We did. We're going, and
Yeah.
I got a couple things to unpack about this. So first off, the news. Upcoming RPG Forspoken from Square Enix studio Luminous Productions has been delayed. Originally slated for release May 24th, 2022, Luminous Productions took to Twitter today to announce that Forsaken was getting pushed back to October 11th of this year. The studio explained the reason for the delay boiling down to a need for more time to work on the game and deliver the promise of the version that they had envisioned for this fantasy RPG genre RPG. The 5-month delay is sure to disappoint many gamers who are looking forward to a new RPG adventure from Square Enix, but the development team stated an assurance that getting it right is extremely important to us, and they will use the extra time to focus all of our efforts on polishing the game. To get more information about Forspoken, before its launch, feel free to take a look at our write-up from December following the game's first appearance at the Game Awards, and also check out our commentary on the new RPG from episode 87 of the Boss Rush podcast. Links will be provided in the chat for you guys to check that out. Forspoken is set to be released for PS5 and PC when it does get released. Hopefully, it does get released on time. Well, on time being October 11th at this point. So before I ask the questions, I will say this: like when Austin, I know you watched the Game Awards the last year. How impressive did it seem to you when Forspoken came out there? Because I'll be honest with you, I saw the general chatter about Forspoken, as it was happening. I was like, man, everybody's blown away by this game, and I think it looks mediocre as fuck.
I think it looked okay. I like the idea of it. Like, I liked seeing the city and then like the island-esque, like, that island that Luke trained Ray on in Force Awakens. Like, I feel like it was that kind of island that it was going around, and then into a giant city. I thought the idea is cool. I want the story to be good in this game because I love Gary Whitta, who wrote this game. And he wrote Rogue
Amy Hennig,
One
too.
and Book of Eli, and
Wait, Amy
That's
Hennig's
great.
behind this?
Yeah.
This game better be great, man.
Yeah.
But man, I don't really know what the gameplay is, and the dialogue in the game is super, super corny. Like almost, this what was that Final Fantasy game where they were like talking about killing chaos the whole time, and like it's like that kind of stuff. It's just like, man, I mean, I don't know, but
I'm here to kill chaos and chew bubble gum.
yeah,
Basically,
and I'm out
basically,
of chaos to
movie.
kill.
I think the major thing for me was like it looked incomplete at the time, and I guess that's unfair to say, the game looks incomplete, when they're showcasing it, at something like the Game Awards, but at the same time it's like it didn't look visually appealing, and I thought Square Enix's thing was making visually appealing RPGs. It didn't look visually appealing to me.
I mean, depends. I mean, Final Fantasy.
Some of the wardrobes they had the characters in, like, yeah, those look pretty badass.
Yeah.
But like the game itself, maybe I just need to wait a little bit longer and see what the deal is of the game, maybe, and then then I can make a more objective opinion on it. I don't know.
I mean, this game might need the Deathloop treatment where we just get like all kinds of video on it, because I feel like that's what it needs at this point. Because
so basically oversaturation.
I mean,
You
I think
want
a lot
this
of people
game,
just
guys.
don't.
You want it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just don't understand what this game even is at this point. Like, I think it's just one of those games that gets lost in the background just because it's like, oh yeah, that was kind of cool looking, but nothing stuck out. Like, as far as like PlayStation games go. Like you see Horizon and it's like, okay, that sticks out, or God of War sticks out, and Ghost of Tsushima had like something that sticked out. All these games have something that sticks out. But Forspoken was like, it's like a Final Fantasy, but it's also in the present time and it's in the past, and I don't know. It just nothing interesting.
Mm.
Because even like Ghostwire Tokyo, I feel like even is like, oh yeah, it's totally something different that you're like that you
Now,
haven't seen before.
Ghostwire Tokyo has my attention. That'll
Yeah,
probably be a day one. That'll probably be a day one get for me.
Already
I think so
pre-ordered.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I probably will too.
Yeah,
Hopefully, I beat her.
Forspoken hasn't been sold to me yet. Even back
No.
when it was codenamed Project Athia.
Yeah.
Remember that? Or we saw a dragon and everyone just started drooling, thinking it was the next Final Fantasy game, and it wasn't.
Yeah. I just want this game to be good because of Gary Whitta, and I forgot about Amy Hennig. I don't know how much she's involved, but I hope it's.
I thought
good.
she was one of the head writers. I could have sworn.
Which means,
I don't know. Let me
which
look it up.
hopefully means that it has a tight story. Hopefully.
I think it'll be fine. Will it be? I think it'll just be good. Like, will it be game of the year level? Is there a lot of hype around it? I mean, yeah, no. Admittedly, we haven't really seen much of anything. I mean, and the fact that they're going to take some extra time to polish it, maybe drop it in and give it some more marketing time, kind of like with what Austin said, of just like maybe people need to kind of understand what is in this game because admittedly we don't know the mechanics. I mean, there's supposed to be a kind of like fantastical parkour element, and we know there's going to be big monsters and dragons to fight.
Well, what?
That's it.
I guess some of the stuff I've been saying is a little unfair because Corey mentioned last week when we were talking about Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 16, that Square Enix has had a hard time, like this past year with the pandemic and stuff like that because of Japan's culture. Japan has a really like professional work-centric culture. Like they actually like the grind of getting up, going to work in the office, stuff like that. The work from home thing for them is basically torture for them, stuff like that. Whereas like the Western part of the world is like, dude, if we can get out of the office, and still do our work.
They live crunch culture.
Yeah, they do
because they take an immense pride in their work, and that's why crunch culture to them is just kind of I guess an everyday thing. So. Yeah, she's just part of the writing team along with Gary Whitta. So,
all right,
I see that Bear McCreary is also doing the composer,
music,
which is dope.
Oh yeah,
I swear he is all over the place. I remember the first time I heard him was during the Battlestar Galactica reboot, and since then I've seen his name every fucking where on TV and gaming.
When him and Surge from System of a Down did the Godzilla theme song, I was so happy. I couldn't stop smiling.
All right, so given enough time, do you think this would be a game that's added to your library, guys?
Oh, yeah, it will.
It will, but I'm actually kind of glad it got pushed back because other than Starfield, I have nothing at the end of the year, so maybe it'll stay that way, and I'll be able to save some money and not spend so much on games and get to my backlog. But who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't pick it up this month. I just don't. I mean, I've already bought Ghostwire Tokyo and Tiny Tina, so
yep.
It wouldn't be happening.
All right. Well, that's all of our news and events. All of our news and topics for tonight. We're gonna get right into our big topic for tonight, which last week's rumor control was pretty nice, but I feel like rumor control as the big topic kind of like takes away from the actual value of the big topic. So big topic is back tonight. Sorry for you guys that might have been disappointed with last week's big topic, but here we go. All right, this is a nice one. This is a good conversation topic for us tonight, and the question is: do games need to have adjustable difficulties? You guys know where I'm about to go with this. If you haven't noticed lately, I put an article out earlier this week, letting everyone know that Elden Ring is not getting an easy mode. if you're playing Elden Ring, which is the latest game by From Software, you're all too familiar with the type of game that it is. A sandbox style system of exploration featuring a deluge of punishingly hard gameplay with players experiencing death simulated every turn. Chris, what was your account of Elden Ring?
I played it for all of 15 minutes, and just to give you a little bit of a taste of what that's like, I got into that first room and I was like, fuck, this is really tiny and I'm not exactly sure where to go. Once I finally got out of there and got into like that first open space, and I'm like trying to feel the world around, and I was like, oh dude, there's a guy on a horse. That like you guys know where this is going with the tree sentinel. I was like, oh fuck, he's coming for me, so I took off and ran, and then he chopped me in half. And so I was thinking of that. That was the extent of my Elden Ring. It's all the time I had. But I actually have a pretty good commentary on this because Hannah's been playing Horizon and whatnot. So if everybody else wants to talk, like, when it come back to, like, you know, I don't know how you wanted to do this one, because I'm not going to go with Elden Ring as a good example.
I get it. Just some quick highlights of that article, though. Elden Ring basically is continuing a tradition that was set by 2011's Dark Souls, where Elden Ring has some of the most crushingly hard bosses that have ever been imagined from Miyazaki and his team. That's Hidetaki Miyazaki, by the way. Players have learned that despite all the spirits that can be summoned and the game's cooperative multiplayer element, Elden Ring is going to be one of the most difficult games to finish out there. Miyazaki said himself that I do feel apologetic towards anyone who feels
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. I hated reading that part. He's apologetic.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't give a fuck. If he was, he would have put an easy game mode in there.
Yeah.
I know he's trying to win points from those people, but no, he's not sorry. Get out of here.
You said basically he's simping for the noobs. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's you know it's that South Park story. It's like, oh well, if you're not good at it, just get good. We're sorry. We're sorry. As he's sitting there stroking his nipples in his office, collecting that paycheck.
The world's smallest violin, just like
Whoa, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He also said, "I just want as many players as possible to experience the joy that comes from overcoming hardship." Okay.
You know the last time someone said that? Was EA. Was EA when they talked about Battlefront 2 and trying to, going through the painstaking process of unlocking Darth Vader. That was the most downvoted content in Reddit history. This dude says it, and it's like we all still praise him like he's the Lord and Savior.
If you could,
I know it's not the same. But still.
Basically, the nerd boners that were heard around the world, basically.
Yeah, no kidding. This guy could come on and make a game literally impossible to beat, and everyone would be like 10 out of 10.
Okay, so the meat and potatoes of this topic is basically, are video games becoming more difficult? I say it all depends on who you ask, because after all, difficulty is only a matter of opinion. There's a growing market for extremely tough games, but on that front, players also want to feel challenged and not punished. That's a true statement, right? We can agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
All right. So the question of how hard games should be is closely tied to the question of whom games are for. This is where the real discussion comes in. There has been an argument for as long as video games have existed that games should be accessible to any and every gamer, no matter the genre or style of the game. It doesn't matter if it's a music game, doesn't matter if it's a puzzle game, doesn't matter if it's a platformer, doesn't matter if it's some it doesn't matter if it's tic-tac-toe. Basically, there's an argument that it should always be accessible to any and every person that wants to play the game. On the other side of that argument, many say that it's a prerogative of the creators and the developers, and not every game has to or should be for everyone. Let's unpack that for a second. What camp would you say you were in, guys?
Okay, what I want to say about this is Okay, I'm of the camp that not every game is for everybody. You know, we were talking just earlier today about Gran Turismo 7. That is a type of simulation racing that is not for everybody. Most people like the Need for Speed or the more arcadey style racing where they don't get punished because they braked during the middle of a turn or something like that, which
Or they hit,
it's a big
or they
no-no.
hit, or they hit a puddle of water. And
Yeah,
just,
exactly. They hit a
they're
puddle
just-
of water on the most rear-wheel drive car on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Anyways, but so but this is where people need to understand, and this is the problem with social media nowadays. If someone comes up to say, you know what, I didn't like Elden Ring, I thought it was too hard, I thought it was too challenging, I don't think it deserves, the praise that it's getting. And for people to come out and attack these people for like, well, just get good, you fucking nerd, or like,
Yeah.
well, don't knock the game because you suck and this and that. That's where I have a problem with it. We should all be able to identify that not every game is for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
but we need to understand that if you're really 100% about a game and you hear about someone complaining about it, you need to let that person be, because you know what? You don't have to have an opinion on that. If you like something to death, why do you have to go attack someone because they don't like it? That doesn't affect you. And
Yep.
that's what I have a problem with, this whole division of, if a game is not for you, then it's just,
then it's your fault.
then it's your fault. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
It's-
obviously these types of games have been purposely designed to be hard and challenging and difficult. And while it is unfair to a point that not everybody has the time or the patience to play these games or to even like get good at these games, that's where I do feel sometimes there should just be a little easy mode to just put it in and get people to play it. Although encourage people to get a PC because there will be mods up there.
Mods, yes.
That's how I beat Sekiro.
I looked up. I went to Nexus Mods to see what they had out there for Elden Ring.
That's how I got through Sekiro, because I got to a point where I was like, "Fuck this! I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done with
Sekiro's another From Software title, right?
it." Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but I feel honestly there should be an accessible mode. There should be an accessible, easy mode for those like kind of dads that are just like I only have an hour to play a day, and I don't want to spend an hour banging my head against the wall or throwing my controller against the wall, or just someone sitting behind me and telling me you need to calm down.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's as with I completely agree. Toxic culture is in fucking everything. I am a diehard Star Wars fan, and Star Wars fans are the fucking worst.
Absolute worst.
You
Absolute worst.
just,
So
like, come on.
Yeah.
It's just, and it makes me so mad because I'm such an avid fan, and like people have opinions and stuff, and that's okay. I know this may be a shock to most people.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to have an opinion, but if someone has a contrasting opinion from you, that
It's
should
not
be
okay to be an
okay too.
asshole. Yep, it's not okay to be an asshole. It is okay
Yeah.
to have an opinion. It is
Yeah.
not okay to be an asshole.
Yeah.
I've always been one of those people where it's like a difference of opinion is an opportunity to have a conversation. Not a difference of opinion is an opportunity to just make someone feel like they're less than.
Yeah. That's where I have the problem, is that all of a sudden, because of your opinion, that means there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Shoot, where was I?
I thought LeRon's screen froze for a half second. I was like, oh no.
Well, it's funny because Hannah just came in here and she was talking about story mode with Horizon. She played the whole game through on easy and then jumped to story mode because that's why she plays video games. She likes the story. She likes the challenge of all of it, and that's okay. Some people just like that shit.
I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people where, like, you know what, like my backlog is probably big enough to fill this entire room. Like, if I were to just grab every fucking game that I have to play, and this is including the games I've traded to GameStop or sold to somebody, stuff like that. If I grabbed every game that I have to play and beat, it could fill up my entire bedroom. So I've gotten to the point now where it's like, you know what? If I really want the challenge, I'll play it on like the default setting or whatnot. But if I just want to get through the game and experience it, I'll play it on fucking easy mode. Because I'd rather spend like, okay, if a game takes 12 hours to beat, I'd rather spend 12 hours quality to get what the developers put out of the game. You know, if they want you to have the experience, the story, or whatever, and stuff like that. You know, or hell, like in the case of like Elden Ring, if it's true what Miyazaki says that he wants people to experience the hardship and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying that I like to punish myself, because I mean there was a time and a place when I would play fucking Ghosts and Goblins and Ghouls and Ghosts and all that stuff, but I hit my fucking limit with Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I never beat that fucking game, and I love that series.
I don't think anybody in history has ever beaten that game. I really don't think so.
I think that's the point.
Yeah, maybe. But that's the thing. Like,
That's what
with Elden Ring, you've crafted this beautifully perfect area. Like, I mean, the game is gorgeous, and the sprawling vistas and big open sandbox is just amazing to look at. And he has to understand; these developers have to understand that probably less than half of your game player base is not going to see that.
Yeah.
Because of the barriers they set.
So, I wonder. So, here's the question then: is it a possibility that they know it's a cash grab, but it's a cash grab in like the reverse reason? They know it's a cash grab because people are going to buy the game and they may never complete it.
I mean, it was a cash grab the second they put George R. Martin on it. Honestly.
Yeah, when they slapped George R. Martin and the developer name From Software, cash grab. People were on board. It was the most anticipated game for 2 years running, and people barely saw any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, in all of that, it had to climb the hurdle of season 8 of Game of Thrones, because, I mean, fucking, I don't want to have anything to do with anything George R. R. Martin does, quite honestly.
Maybe that's why they haven't marketed
for season 8, though.
Probably.
He didn't even write season 8. Like,
he hasn't written the last book.
No. I got you, but he was an advisor. He helped. All the story at the end is exactly how he wants it to end. Like he had a huge role in it. That he had his hands were all over that.
He was the one who left.
Just because he didn't write the book.
As a writer, the hardest thing is to nail the ending.
I mean.
Even like admittedly, even in video games nowadays, like the amount of I don't know what the recent numbers are, but I remember reading this a long time ago that the number of people that fully complete a campaign of any game is staggeringly low.
Yeah, it is.
And that's why there was a lull in a lot of video games where, like, we got shit endings. Like, obviously, for example, Mass Effect 3, when that game first came out, that ending was so short because I think maybe that was around the time where even they said not a lot of people finish games. So why spend so long on an end game? And when they know like 20% of the gamers playing their game are never even going to, or are only going to finish it. So,
yeah.
Which is sad. Yeah. And I think with games like Elden Ring, to be completely honest, like that's the point of the game. When you buy that game, it's going to be hard. Yeah. I agree with there being a little bit of accessibility and, learning curves and all of that stuff. But that's the point of that game. Now, and people have their different skill sets. Like, I'm really good at platformers and shooters, right? Like, but I'm terrible at sports games. I don't necessarily play them. I'll try them from time to time. Like, I'll fuck around with it just because. But
I suck at first-person shooters, especially in competitive play.
Oh yeah, competitive. I can get down with that shit.
And have me do it on keyboard and mouse. It's even worse. And keyboard and mouse, you're supposed to have the advantage.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's that kind of stuff always came easy to me. Like I came up literally with like Doom and shit. So first person shooters came naturally.
Yeah, I am.
All right. Oh, what?
Yeah,
Well, I was gonna say just. A lot of this is just based on some kind of outrage that everyone has that their viewpoint isn't being seen. And I understand, like, for accessibility, like there's some people who can't play games, and I think that's what some of the conversation's been about. I forget the guy's name, but the blind gamer. He basically just said like he can't handle it anymore because everyone's just talking shit about him and to him about Elden Ring, and it's like. All because he didn't like the game because it didn't have accessibility options and people got outraged by it. But like, who really fucking cares? Like, who cares if someone gives a game a 10 out of 10 and played it on easy mode? Like, who cares?
Mm-hmm. What does it matter?
A lot of it is just like everyone takes their game way too seriously. And you can tell like the people who really love Elden Ring and FromSoft games because they're like, no, there should never be anything. It's like me, I like Elden Ring a lot. I like the challenge, but I'm at the same time, I'm like, I don't care if there's an easy mode. I'm not gonna play it. Like, just like what Chris is saying, I don't like The Last Jedi. I hate that movie, but I don't care if someone likes it because guess what? I just won't watch it. I just won't watch it. I'll watch.
It's not. It's not for you then. It's not for you then.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
Yeah,
and that's okay. That's okay.
I mean, it's okay to be as wrong as Austin is about The Last Jedi, but you know,
that's fine. But like,
I get the criticism, and that's part of how this thing.
But I'm not gonna go out and be like, oh man, Chris likes the fucking Last Jedi, and now I gotta now I want to kill myself because like basically it's at that point. It's like it's that bad with some people. And
oh yeah,
I saw like, I kind of threw it out there a little bit last night, and I got some feedback on it. But there are Horizon developers talking shit about reviews giving Elden Ring all these high scores and stuff. And I was like, you know what? We all have a bad day at work and we all like to blow off steam and talk shit about people. And these people were just getting trounced on. I was like, I'm so tired of like just people, gamers specifically, because I feel like gamers are particularly bad at this. At just
as
mad
gamers,
about everything.
As gamers, we're our own worst enemies.
Yep.
We
Oh,
are
absolutely, 100%.
We are like we want to make sure that every game gets praised no matter what. But the first time a game comes out and it's not what you want, it's the first thing that you easily trash.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
And I'm not even talking about games. I'm not even talking about games that like are just badly programmed. Because we played a badly programmed game. I guarantee you, in the last 3 years we played one badly programmed game and stuff like that. I'm talking about games that go out there. It sets out to do one thing, and it does that one thing well, and everybody hates that one thing. So it is immediately getting like review bombed on Metacritic,
Mm-hmm.
or like people are getting fucking hate mail, and like death threats and shit,
which is the worst.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking time do you have to? What kind of fucking person do you have to be to take the time to send somebody a death threat because you didn't like their video game? Like.
Or even just to even say like, you know what, this game is not for me. I'm not going to play it. And then to receive, hate mail or hate messages just because that person had a conflicting opinion.
Yep.
You know what? Because hold on. Before you say that, I'm going to say it like this. And of course, like it's been a long time since I've done this on the show. But of course, you guys know my social media handle. I invite you because I will tell you this. I have no plans on playing Elden Ring because guess what? Those type of games piss me the fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I played some fucking hard ass games. Shit, I was born in 1975. I played some fucking hard ass games.
Well, and that goes back to your
the
original
crazy
question.
thing.
Goes back to your original question when you said, are games getting harder? No, they're not.
They're not.
Games started out hard because they needed to be challenging. They needed to be challenging. Can you grab any kid there now who's like amazing at Elden Ring? Can you get him to try to pass the second level in Donkey Kong for fuck's sake? No, they probably can't.
Yeah.
They probably can't.
And going back to what LeRon said earlier, players want to feel challenged, not punished. Okay, I can die to the same boss in Elden Ring 70 times and still be put in the same exact spot and still have the same exact weapons and everything and have my fair share. But playing Mario, if you get to World 6 and you just have a bad run where you die 3 times, you lost all your lives, you have to start the game all over. And all that time goes back. Like, that's kind of stuff.
Wait. Austin,
mm-hmm.
You didn't know you could continue in Super Mario 1?
Well, yeah, but when you lose all your lives, you completely have to start the game over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how many worlds are in... it's been so long since I played.
8.
Come on, man. You're not that old.
Yeah, but you can... I know there's 8 worlds, but how many...
World 1,
Super Mario World 1 has how many... A world.
Super Mario World.
Oh, my bad. You said Super Mario
Brothers 1, you start the game over.
Yeah.
No, you can't... There's a continue...
No, there is not.
Yes,
there's never been a continue in Mario.
Never been. No.
You don't have to Google it. I'm answering it for you right now.
And I am seconding that. There is no continue.
I just played it.
play it a
I
lot.
definitely did.
I play it a lot. There is
NintendoLife.com.
Oh my God,
game over
he's doing
screen,
it.
hold down A and press start. It allows you to continue in the world you died, rather than starting back on world 1.
What kind of shady hacking stuff is that?
Yeah.
On what system? And definitely
Play on
not
The
the fucking
fucking
original.
NES.
Definitely
the
not the-
fucking NES.
Listen. When I was a kid, man, okay, I don't look for cheats, okay. I didn't try to cheese it. I'm a real gamer, okay. I did the hard way. I play Elden
So wait.
Ring.
So you
Fuck
beat
y'all babies for
Contra
wanting
without the
easy
30-man
mode.
code?
Yeah,
No,
that's
You
that's
beat Contra without the
That's
30-man
right.
code?
That's impossible. It's
'Cause
impossible. Austin, you're
I can't
lying.
beat that fucking game now without the 30-man code.
I beat Ghosts and Goblins, no life,
You
no
know,
hits, no nothing.
Here's here's my thing. I don't have patience for some of that shit sometimes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, final word on this. Not every game is meant for every gamer, and that is not a goddamn bad fucking thing at all. Okay? There you go.
As long as it doesn't have Chris Pratt in it.
Yeah.
Austin's fucking lying ass bitch on here tonight, man.
Lion
Jesus
ass
Christ.
bitch. Why you gotta be a bitch, man? That's me.
Hey,
That's the name of a
I'm
That's
not
the name
being
of
a
a
bitch.
song. That's
I'm
the name
being
of
a
a
lion
song.
ass. I'm being a lion
being a-
ass, but I'm not being
Yeah.
a bitch. I'm not being a bitch.
All right.
No,
all
but
right,
seriously, just enjoy games. Cried out loud.
right.
I mean, just enjoy them.
And
Stay off.
and admittedly too, like sometimes there's games that aren't for you, and you could quietly put that game away and say this isn't for me, and just move on with your fucking
Yeah,
life.
no
Yeah.
fanfare.
You,
No
you-
fanfare
you don't
at
have
all.
to go blasting people on social media for liking it, you
Yeah.
know,
And
or even just like even if you go on social media or even go on podcasts and say, well, I didn't much care for this game. I don't think this game deserves a 10 out of 10. And then they have to be subject to attacks or people with their stupid opinions saying, well, you just suck. That's your problem. This game is fine.
Yeah.
if
So guys, should games like Elden Ring have the options to adjust difficulty
Yes.
just to meet
Yes.
the player's taste? Okay.
Yes.
I feel like that's a
I-
roaring consensus.
yeah,
I vote yes, but if the creator doesn't want to, then so be it. Like honestly,
Yep.
that's how I feel. Like
Yeah.
it's
I
to
want the creator
creator's
to do what
vision.
he wants to do. Yeah.
That was actually my next question. Should
Yeah.
studios develop their games with difficulties that can be more appealing to all sorts of gamers?
It's not every movie is shot and filmed for every person. It's
Yeah.
not every book is written for everybody. Same
Mhm.
concept.
It's
And
like,
just I wanted to tack something onto what Stoy was saying. Just at the very end, if you are writing death threats or being an asshole on the internet because other people like or dislike something that you like, maybe the thing that you think you like or dislike is not for you.
Yeah.
In the words of Joey Diaz, get off fucking Twitter and Snapchat, cocksucker. That's all you have to do.
All right, and
What was the
Here's-
quote
here's-
What was the
here-
quote I just saved? I just saved this quote from whatever. Moving on.
all right, and here's a fun question to close out this round. What's the most difficult game you have ever played? I already said Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
He
Played
who
or
knows only his own side of the case argument knows little of that. So, anyway,
Wait, what was that? Repeat that.
he who
Played or
only
beat?
knows his side of the case knows little of that.
All right.
And that was from John Stuart Mill. It kind of goes back to the whole like if you can't listen to someone's argument and try to understand their argument, then you do not understand even your own point of view. If you're not willing to get into a debate with someone, so. Hardest game I ever played. We're gonna have to go back to me on that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one now.
Played or
Austin?
beat, because that's the key.
I mean, Bloodborne was pretty damn hard for me.
Yeah.
And
A modern,
I
okay, a
didn't get
more
very
modern
far.
game. Because I know I'm talking about an old Super NES game that was probably designed to be hard just to fuck with you.
all
But,
those all the Star Wars games.
Yeah.
Honestly, Super Star Wars, Super Empire Strikes Back, and Super Return of the Jedi were all ridiculously hard.
Plus the
remember.
fact that those games made no
Yeah.
sense. Those games made no sense to me. Like, I guess I was just way too. I enjoyed the original series, so I guess those games just really fucked the original series up.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really did.
ET was fucking hard. I didn't understand it at all.
That's
real
because
hard game.
it was broken.
You couldn't play that game.
Yeah, you literally couldn't.
Hardest game I beat would be Bloodborne, probably. With Cuphead being right there, but Cuphead I got down.
Oh,
eventually.
Cuphead was hard.
Yep.
I got
Cuphead
Cuphead
was
down
hard.
eventually. Bloodborne, I was pulling my hair out.
Let's
sure.
put it this way. Cuphead was hard for me that I have not thought about buying that expansion.
Oh, I will be there day one. I cannot wait, and I love the show. Everyone should go watch that show. There's SpongeBob writers on it, and if you like that kind of stuff, the old school SpongeBob, it's great.
Cody loves it.
I thought it was like when I looked at the show and I was like, wait, they're only like 12-minute episodes. I was like, am I ready for this? But then again, I had to think about the fact that I sat through like regular show, and I'm like, if I can do regular show, I know I can do Cuphead.
Oh, you can for sure do. If you can get through regular, I love regular show, but
I love regular
not
show
for everyone. It's like. Or like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, the 15-minute Aqua Teen Hunger Force video. I love that shit.
I love Aqua Teen too, but yeah, that is definitely something that's not for everybody.
My wife hates it. My wife hates that show so much. I put it on just to annoy her.
Yeah.
The Moonanites.
The encourage him in his habit.
All right, fellas, are we ready?
We are like the Scorpions. We are going to rock you. Like a hurricane.
All right, I think we had enough fun tonight. I know folks got to go to bed and stuff.
My answer was Cuphead, by the way.
Oh, your answer was Cuphead. Story, did you ever?
I did not beat that game. That game's fucking hard.
Ninja Gaiden 3. Ninja Gaiden 3 was I love the hell out of
modern Ninja Gaiden 3.
No,
old school
Nintendo Ninja Gaiden 3. I prided myself on beating the first one and beating the second one. I mean, hard games were my thing because that's what was around, and the cool games were kind of difficult. And Ninja Gaiden 3, I could never bring myself to finish it without a freaking Game Genie because that game was hard because it was kind of broken. And it was kind of sad because, Ninja Gaiden 2 was so well polished and so well done. And then Ninja Gaiden 3 came out and it just and it was just man, I don't even want to think about it.
Man, I never beat Ninja Gaiden when it was a new game. Like I remember playing this game as a kid. I could never beat it because like I would get to the stage where you basically find out that your father's been alive this whole time.
Oh yeah.
And so you defeat your father.
Do what now?
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
I'd be surprised if you ever played Ninja Gaiden.
Nope.
I feel like that game's before your time. Like if you're telling me your mom got you up out of bed to play Legend of Zelda, you watch her play Legend of Zelda, I know for sure this game is before your time.
Slightly.
But yeah, like I never. So it's I want to say it was stage 6. Because the boss, it was 3 boss fights in stage 6. And when I was a kid, I used to get my ass beat all the time, on the second boss fight of stage 6. I had never beat that shit until I was an adult. And when I say an adult, I'm turning 47 this year. I beat that shit when I turned 44.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's actually more impressive because I've gotten way worse at games that I was really good at as a kid.
Oh,
I feel like your
muscle
patience
memory.
Your patience would have been less.
I have this very bad ADD with muscle memory, so like shit. Like there are
I'm
games
like that when I pick up Mega Man games.
I was gonna say Mega Man games. Yeah, like Mega Man 2 and 3, man. Like shit, I have a blast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the complete opposite. I get so lazy with my controls. Like I'm like, oh, I've done this control so many times that I'm bored with it now, so I'm gonna try something completely different. It just ruins everything. I have no muscle memory whatsoever.
Yeah, I could play Mario, like the first Mario game, blindfolded. I'm pretty sure.
I can play Mario 2 blindfolded.
Oh, the best one.
Yeah.
I agree. Wart is underutilized for sure. Wart's better than Bowser.
Yeah,
I said it.
Okay.
I don't know. They've been giving Bowser some been giving out Bowser some tricks and some skills lately, though.
I agree, but
I think
they
Super Mario
should have given
Brothers
it to
2
War.
brought our first trans character.
Yeah,
Birdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Birdo's
Birdo.
trans. Yeah.
Yep.
So, shout out for
All
Nintendo for being progressive.
Way ahead of everybody else.
Wait. No.
By a lot.
That was the first trans character. The first trans character was Poison from Final Fight.
Yeah, but I think Super Mario Brothers 2 still came out before that.
Really? Maybe you're right.
I don't think Nintendo really confirmed that Birdo was trans until like
the Game Boy Advance version of
because they pulled a J.K. Rowling where they were like, Hermione's gay.
I'm not the fighting guy, but isn't Poison in a different fighting game now?
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
That's
She's
what
in
I
Street
thought.
Fighter.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I thought.
she was in Final Fight. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know
started.
anything about Final Fight. So.
Well, they pulled a fast one because in the original Japanese game it was a man dressed as a woman,
Mm-hmm.
and when it got to the West, it was like, no, that's a woman.
Yeah.
they'd rather have you like go out and create domestic violence than just like there's a man dressed as a woman.
Well, whatever makes it more palpable.
Welcome to America.
Yep.
All right, we're wrapping this up now.
I gotta go. I gotta go tonight.
Yeah.
5:30 comes early, and I gotta wind down. I was gonna
All
go
right.
play Elden Ring and hate myself, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Don't do it.
Yeah. I'll probably
All right.
trick
Well, that's our show for tonight. As always, we'd like to give a big thanks to you for tuning in to Crossroads, and also Stoy. Welcome to your first official episode as a cast member, man. Well, welcome. You've been on the show quite a few times and stuff, but now you're one of us.
Now I'm one of you guys. Now I'm one of
you're
you
one
guys.
of us.
Yep. So screw the Xbox. The Xbox is the worst system to buy. Buy a PlayStation.
Piece of shit.
If
Oh
you
my
can.
God.
If you can.
Oh my
If you
God!
can.
Like there's gonna be so much chatter on the Crossroads Twitter tomorrow. After tonight's
Oh, you
episode.
gotta bring the enemy onto your show, and now all of a sudden he hates the Xbox. Who is this guy? Because your entire Twitter fan base talks in a New Jersey accent, by the way.
Yeah.
Exactly like that. I know that person. At least 8 of them.
Yeah, there's at least 8 of them on his Twitter.
No,
right,
Who's this guy? He's talking about how Xbox was the greatest system in the world, and then all of a sudden now he's coming on PlayStation, all this, and
No,
I
man,
saw he's got an
live in
Xbox
Jersey.
fridge in the corner, right by the camera, right there. You see that? I know that Xbox sign from a mile away.
Oh my God! I know like 10 people exactly. Like I lived in New Jersey.
That was one thing I wish. I don't know. The one time I went to Boston, I went there for a day trip, and it was just one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had traveling this country. Boston's such a
the Bostonian accent.
Boston's such a wonderful place.
All right, before we head out, here's how you can get connected with the crew. Stoy, you got the honors. Go first.
Well, not only am I now on the Crossroads podcast, I am also a part of the EXP Cast. We're a video game podcast with the Boss Rush Network. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at EXP Cast, and also my personal Twitter and Instagram at StoyMKE8.
All right, Chris.
As usual, you can find me at RealChrisTrue over on Twitter. You can also find me on Dad Pod the Show every other Wednesday. So we will have a show tomorrow. We won't have one next week. Tomorrow's episode is about bedtime. It should be awesome.
All right.
Anybody who's ever had kids knows what bedtime means, and it is not awesome. Can I get a drink of water? I got a question. I really don't like you.
Oh my
Austin.
God.
You can find me at PlayStation on Twitter and Instagram. Catch me in the Boss Rush Discord. I'll go ahead and plug my own show while everyone's at it and listen to Scrambled Rambles. It's just a show where I just talk about all kinds of stuff with all kinds of people. Usually have my 3 lifelong friends on there. And the last episode, we talked about Atwoods versus Tractor Supply. So if you know anything about those 2 stores, it gets heated. So
I live in Wisconsin, so that would be like talking about John Deere and Arians or something like that.
Hey,
Are
Chris,
you from Wisconsin too?
Chris, what's the conversation we have?
Is it Fleet
over
Farm
here?
or Farm and Fleet? You tell me.
I think if I remember correctly, Tractor Supply was from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Like started in Wisconsin. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. We talked about that.
All right. And as always, you can catch me on social media at Exodus803. It's also my Twitch and YouTube handle, and also my PlayStation and Steam gamer tag. So yeah, there's that. Don't forget, I am also part of the crew for the Boss Rush podcast. It happens every Wednesday nights on twitch.tv/Boss Rush Games at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm the lead host of Boss Rush After Dark. Two of these other guys have been on After Dark with me a couple of times, and yeah, the last time Stoy was on, he made Corey and I so uncomfortable that we couldn't walk straight for a week.
Oh,
I talked about inflatable
way
peanut
anybody's
prosthesis implants. Not the way LeRon probably was. Yeah.
No, definitely not. Don't forget, Crossroads has a merch store. You can check out all sorts of stuff. Get good types of Crossroad merchandise, from ball caps, mugs, stickers, hoodies, and more. Even socks. So yeah, check it out. No jock straps yet. Don't ask.
That sounds like I know where that came from. I don't even have to guess.
All right.
I know exactly.
Links have been provided in our Twitch chat, or you can just head over to redbubble.com and search for Boss Rush Network. All right. And on right now on the on bossrush.net, the website, David Lasby asks, has Elden Ring already secured Game of the Year for 2020? You know what? After this episode, we're no longer talking about Elden Ring. No more.
I'm fine with that.
But we can still talk about Chris Pratt.
No, we can't. So yeah, he wants to know if he's already secured Game of the Year for 2022 in the March 8th edition of the Boss Rush banner. Eddie Vernell brings us his game review of Dying Light 2 Stay Human, and Mark Pereira sits down with us and gives us the rankings for Batman's theatrical releases. All that and more can be found over at bossrush.net, so head on over there and check out more editorials, shows from our ever-growing family of creators and contributors. If you like to talk about games, media, sports, food, and much more, why not join our Discord? Why not?
Why not? Do it.
There's always something to do over there, right?
Do it.
As always, you can chat with us and keep the conversation going by hitting us up on Twitter at PS_Crossroads to dish on more news, events, and topics. And while we are getting ready for the next installment of Crossroads. All right, guys, this has been episode 73 of Crossroads. Come back and join us next week for another episode where we will have more things to talk about and more shenanigans will ensue, and there will not be any more conversations about Chris Pratt. You hear me?
Yes, there will be.
I can guarantee it. There will be.
There will be.
Can't wait for the Elden Ring movie.
Pratt all
with Chris Pratt.
time. This is a Pratt show now.
All right, everyone.
Chris Pratt is going to play Margaret.
Yep. Okay.
Also,
on
God
that,
in that scenario.
on-
I'm sure.
On that note, we love you. We are out. Take care.